Greetings, I'm pharmacist Benjamin Knight Fuchs, registered pharmacist, cosmetic chemist, and nutritionist. And this is the show where we talk about the body's largest organ because your skin matters. Today I want to talk about the health of the skin, specifically the health of the skin as it regards nutrition. The most important thing that I can tell you about the health of the skin is that the health of the skin precedes the beauty. The skincare business is a multi-billion dollar business, mostly focused on superficial appearances. That is the beauty of the skin as it appears, as it looks like in the mirror, as it looks like when people see us. But really what we have to understand is the skin is the body's largest organ. We say that all the time. That means it's an organ. And as an organ, it depends on health for its functionality as well as its appearance. And the health of the skin depends largely on nourishment. Skin health is related to how well we nourish ourselves. And that has to do with, number one, diet, which plays a critical role in how healthy and how beautiful our skin is. And secondly, it has to do with the integrity of the digestive system, in fact, the entire digestive tract. When we say health, by the way, we're talking really about not so much the skin, but the skin cell. The skin, like all the other parts of the body, is composed of cells and stuff. And how healthy, how beautiful, how functional the stuff is going to depend on the cells. The cells are the living things in the body, the living things in the various organs of the body, and the living things in the skin. Everything else comes out of the cells. So if we're going to change the constituency, the functionality, the appearance, and the beauty, and the health of this organ, the skin, in our case today, we have to understand the cells, which are like little animals that do work, that grow, that divide, that make stuff, modify stuff, and have countless working parts. And all of this stuff that a cell is doing requires energy. Cells, where does that energy come from? Nourishment, largely. It also, to a certain extent, from oxygen, but largely what we call nutrients and nourishment is what provides the cells with the energy to do their work. Now, skin cells are doing a lot of work. Skin cells turn over rapidly, with the exception of the cells of the digestive tract. There are no other cells in the body that turn over as fast as the skin. So when we look at the skin, I should say the cells of the skin. So when we look at the skin, what we're really looking at is, in a way, a real-time observation of what's happening inside the body, because the skin that we see today really was born maybe a month ago. So it's kind of a recent phenomenon and gives us a real-time picture of what's happening inside the body. Second factor that plays a role in how well the skin is going to function, how well the skin is going to look, is the skin's immune nature. The skin is an immune organ. It's a defensive organ. The immune system is our defense system. It shows up as inflammation, and inflammation and immune activity play a huge role in how well the skin will function and how pretty the skin will look, how beautiful the skin will look. So there's two major ways that this topic of nutrition and diet, or nutrition and nourishment, impacts the skin. The first is how we nutriate. That is how we eat and how we nourish. They're not the same. The foods we eat don't necessarily nourish us. So how we eat, meaning the calories we put into our body, and how we nourish, meaning the nutrients that get into our body. They both play a major role in how pretty and how, most importantly, how healthy our skin is going to be. And aging skin, photo-damaged skin, dry skin, thin skin, frail skin, as well as conditions like melasma, hyperpigmentation, itchiness or rashes, and chicken skin, and full-blown diseases like acne or eczema or psoriasis, or even cancer are all related to nutrition or the lack thereof. The second element that we want to pay attention to when it comes to how well we nourish ourselves and how well our skin will function and look is the digestive system itself. And that's for a few reasons. First of all, obviously, you need to process and absorb the nutrients that you're ingesting. And also because both the skin and the digestive tract are immune organs, and the intestine specifically is an immune organ. Both are going to be sources of inflammatory conditions. Remember, inflammation equals immunity. Inflammation is how the immune system shows up. There's a phenomenon that many people have heard of today called leaky gut syndrome. Leaky gut syndrome isn't strictly an immune reaction, but as the name implies, it's when you get leaks in the gut meaning the intestine, toxins flow into the bloodstream, and that too will eventually affect the skin. Skin cells will make inflammatory chemicals when they are activated by toxins that get into the bloodstream through a leaky gut. So you've got three elements here, or three reasons why the digestive system plays such an important role in how healthy and how pretty or how beautiful the skin will be. Number one, obviously the digestive system is important for nourishment, for absorbing nutrients that we ingest. Number two, the digestive system is the intestine specifically, is an immune organ, and immune molecules that are floating around in the blood will eventually affect the skin. And number three, through a leaky gut, toxicity get into the bloodstream, and that will also affect the immune system of the skin. The end result is every single skin issue. I mean, every one you can name, from the most benign dry skin to the more problematic psoriasis, acne, and eczema, and even deadly skin cancer, pre-skin cancer, and cancer, all are the end result, or can be the end result, of issues with nourishment or issues with digestive issues with problems at the level of the digestive tract. So when we eat a food, it's a very interesting process that we take for granted, but it's actually a really fascinating and complex process. When we eat a food, it goes into our mouth, we chew the food, saliva acts on the food to pre-digest the food, it drops down our esophagus, goes into the stomach continues the digestive process. That food, that crushed up food that has been processed at the level of the stomach with acid and enzymes. At this point, by the way, it's called chyme, C-H-Y-M-E. The chyme drops into the intestine. It's hit with a big old blast of bile from the gallbladder and pancreatic enzymes from the pancreas. And then that food goes into the intestine and it's absorbed into the intestine. It has to be absorbed very carefully. If there are holes that develop in the intestine following eating the wrong foods or nutritional deficiencies, food particles literally can enter into the bloodstream. That's where leaky gut syndrome comes from. So there's lots that can go wrong in the digestive process, especially with the kind of foods that we eat in 21st century America, around the world really. Processed foods and fried fats, which are not only stressful to cells, but they also result in nutritional deficiencies, nutritional burdens on the body. And over time, these nutritional deficiencies and ingestions of inflammatory foods can create changes in the digestive tract, which will activate immunity and lead to all kinds of skin problems. Also, changes at the level of the intestine following the ingestion of wrong foods can throw off hormone balance, because hormones are processed in the intestine, and they can also throw off bacterial balance. Most people these days have heard of the microbiome, the bacteria that live in the intestine, and this a whole situation with eating the wrong foods and stress on the cells of the intestine, plus nutritional deficiency issues at the level of the intestine can throw off the microbiome and create the wrong kinds of bacteria or not enough bacteria. All of this can result in malabsorption of nutrients or the absorption of toxins into the bloodstream through the gut via leaky gut, and also immune activation. All of this can put a tremendous stress on the cells of the intestine. So you have two elements at play when it comes to nourishment as it relates to the skin. One is just the ingestion of nutrients. Remember, we talked about the 8 chapters of good nutrition: the proteins, the fats, the carbohydrates, the fiber, the water, the vitamins, and the minerals. So number one, just the plain old ingestion of nutrients is going to play a role in the skin, or the lack of nutrients that we ingest. And number two, digestive system distress. But here's the good news. All of this, the diseases and the conditions and the embarrassment and unfortunately the psychological issues that can be lifelong and really impact our quality of life, are all correctable, not with drugs. There's no drugs that can correct issues at the level of the digestive system or nutritional deficiency issues. There's no strategies that the medical model can do. And by the way, if you go to a dermatologist or a skin doctor in the year 2023, you're going to probably get the same medicine or very similar medicine to the medicines you would have gotten 60 years ago in 1963. Because really, there's not a lot that medical strategies can do to fix the skin. But that doesn't matter, because simply by working on these two important elements of nourishment and health, by working on eating correctly, making sure we're getting the right nutrients, eating nutrient dense, and then correcting digestive problems, we can correct every single health issue and skin issue that is connected to nutritional deficiencies or digestive distress. So when we talk about eating correctly, we talk about eating nutrient dense. That means eating foods that don't have a lot of calories, but have a lot of nutritional value. We call that nutrient density. Seaweed, for example, loaded with nutrients, not a lot of calories. Veggies in general, loaded with nutrients, but not a lot of calories. And seaweed and veggies both have very important nutrients that are specific for the skin, phytonutrients that help protect the skin from the environment, specifically help protect the skin from the sun. Eating organic meat, eating seafood, if you're so inclined and you're not a vegetarian, eating meat and seafood. Eggs as well. Eggs, in fact, are a true power food for the skin. In fact, an egg has absolutely everything that you need to have healthy, beautiful skin, as long as you don't have egg allergies, of course. And also understand the power of supplementation, nutritional supplementation with what I call the mighty 90 essential nutrients. That is vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and fatty acids to supplement the diet. That's very important. Supplementation supplements the diet. You're not going to live on supplements, but you can use supplements to supplement your diet. To correct digestive issues is a little bit trickier. You always, first of all, want to associate foods with skin problems. And it's amazing how easy and at the same time how underappreciated this one thing is to link your acne breakouts, to link your psoriatic lesions, to link your eczema or even your dry skin to specific kind of foods. Notice when your skin flares up. Notice when your skin gets scalier. Notice when your skin gets more psoriatic, or when your eczema gets worse, or when your redness or itching gets worse. These flare-ups give you real-time information as to what you ate recently that is affecting the skin. You might want to consider doing a food diary where you write down everything you eat and then write down how your skin feels an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours after you eat that specific food. Also link digestive symptoms to specific foods. Notice when you bloat, notice when you have gas, notice when you are constipated or have loose stools, and see if you can associate those symptoms with specific foods. By using nutrition, using diet, using supplements, using foods, using digestive support, by food elimination, by calorie restriction, by fasting, getting on a good probiotic supplement, can be helpful. Using apple cider vinegar with your meals, using digestive enzymes with your meals. All of these can help you process foods. Using things like fucoidan or glutamine or essential fatty acids to help protect against a leaky gut. Gelatin can also help protect against a leaky gut by strengthening the gut lining. Aloe vera can help strengthen the gut lining. Remember, when we say the gut, we mean the intestine. And then there's also wonderful strategies that you can use that can correct digestive health problems. The ketogenic diet, which is a low carbohydrate, moderate protein, high fat diet, a low calorie, high fat diet. The ketogenic diet is a diet of about 1,200 calories or so, where 80% of those calories come from quality fats. That can be very helpful for folks who are dealing with food problems. Fasting is a great strategy if you're dealing with digestive health problems. Drinking structured water from juices, from vegetable juices, vegetable juicing can help. Megadosing with key micronutrients. Megadosing, for example, with vitamin C. And by megadosing, we're talking about 3 grams a day or so. Megadosing with zinc, well, not zinc necessarily, but at least taking enough zinc in the right form can be very helpful, not only for the skin, but also for the digestive tract. 50 milligrams a day of zinc picolinate, making sure you're getting 20,000 IU a day of vitamin A. Vitamin A being probably the skin's most important nutrient, or at least one of them. Calorie restriction, and then making sure that you're eating nutritionally dense. The bad news is that if you got a digestive problem and you're malnourished, or you're not getting enough nutrients, your skin's not going to look so good. And there's pretty much all skin problems are going to be related one way or another to some kind of digestive health issue. The good news is they are all correctable, not with drugs necessarily, but with lifestyle strategies involving food and diet and supplementation, and making sure that you're getting enough nutrients and making sure you're correcting digestive health problems. Okay, I hope that was inspiring, and I hope that was edifying. I'm pharmacist Benjamin Knight Fuchs. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, because your skin matters.